Good Monday afternoon. It's 2:16 here on the East Coast in Ohio, and we are live for our Monday edition, our weekend roundup. It is our last episode going live from home before I go back to Athens for a couple weeks for classes that could not be online or could be online still. I'll be there for like 8 weeks, be back the Friday before Thanksgiving. So that episode may be from Athens, it may not. But that week of Thanksgiving, I'll be back home and everything and through the end of the year. And then in January, we'll be back in Athens in about the 11th of January, that first Monday. They're back on campus when classes start. We'll hopefully be back on Monday and Fridays for the rest of the semester. Hopefully, if everything goes as planned. So, today is September 21st. So, we're going to start off with this. Tiger Woods missed the cut this weekend on the U.S. Open. I forget what his name. It was DeCamp or some Bryce DeChambeau, I think is how you say his last name, ended up winning by being 6 under. But Tiger missed the cut on Friday evening. He was 10 over after second round at 77. That's the 11th cut he's missed as a professional. So yeah, that's our little golf news. Some MLB news. Also Friday evening, Rockies and Red Sox had a trade. Red Sox acquired Massachusetts native and UConn alum right-hand pitcher Jacob Wallace as player to be named later in the Kevin Pillar deal. Albert Pujols passed Willie Mays, hitting his 661st and 62nd home run on Friday evening against the Rangers. So that was Saturday. Obviously, he's now chasing A-Rod once he hits that mark. Also came out Saturday afternoon that David Ortiz tested positive for COVID-19. The former Boston Red Sox said that he had a mild case, but his brother was hospitalized for a week and lost 25 pounds while he had it. And then also Saturday this was early evening, Tigers manager announced he was retiring effective immediately. He had a record of 132 wins and 241 losses in the 3 seasons with the Tigers. It's kind of surprising that he's retiring with the season not completely over yet, but obviously there's some change coming. And then there was some NFL news today at 11:34, or not 11:34, but at 11:20, it was announced that Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey is expected to be sidelined for multiple weeks with an ankle injury. And then, let's see. Saquon Barkley has torn his ACL and will miss the remainder of the season. That was announced about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So those are 2 major running back injuries that have came out this afternoon. One out for the rest of the season, one out for just a couple of weeks. And then also we have some college news that the Maui Invitational is moving to North Carolina from Maui, Hawaii. The 2020 edition will be played in Asheville from November 30th to December 2nd due to the virus. Field is set to unlikely change. Also, there was some of the schools are talking about having bubbles of non-conference team playing. Once they have their set a number for conference schedule, they'll possibly have bubble tournaments or like invitationals for in-state rivals. I think it was a school in Kentucky had said something about that. Duke is talking about doing that also. I think that's actually really smart. It'd be cool if like Ohio State did that with some of the teams in Ohio. Had got like Xavier and Wright State and UD and Ohio University up in Columbus at the Shot, and maybe some other teams from like the MAC, because I know mainly it's the MAC and Ohio State, and then a couple other teams. I mean, you can get Cincinnati too. I almost forgot about them. But get some of the teams from Ohio, bring them up to Columbus, play some games, and get your out of conference games like that. But also the MAC met on Saturday. The presidents did, and they said they will continue examination on the matter. They have not decided. Hopefully, we will decide sometime this week. I think they can do what the Big Ten's doing. Play 8 regular season games, and then championship week they can do the seeding, have the top 2 teams in the MAC play for the championship in Detroit, and then have games going on around the conference for 3 and 4 matchup, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 matchup. Since there's only 12, it'd just be one less game. I think it would be really cool. And then some more football news in the college world. Florida State's head coach, Mike Norvell, is isolating himself from the football team and will not travel to this upcoming game on against Miami after he tested positive for COVID-19. And then primetime Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders announced he will be Jackson State's next head coach. As you can tell from the picture for our video today, that was the top story for us today, as he was named the next head coach. I'm going to see real quick if we have any others real quick. Does not look like it. I believe that nothing really changed much in the world of the top 25. The SEC does start this week with playing. So one thing I do have to say about the AP top 25 is that even though the SEC didn't start playing till this week, I think they should have done the same thing they did to the Big Ten and Pac-12, who wasn't playing at all, and just dropped them down. And then once they started playing, putting them back in. Yes, I know that would have got more group of 5 teams and other Power 5 teams in, but I believe that would have been a better thing for the teams. Also tonight we have the Saints at the Raiders in Las Vegas. It's the opening of the new stadium there in Las Vegas. So that is New Orleans is favored by 4.5. We have game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight also. Tampa Bay is favored, but Dallas is up 1-0 already. Tonight you have game 2 of semifinal between the Suns and Aces in the WNBA, and you have game 1 between the Lynx and the Storm. So it does not. So let's see if I go in here. Las Vegas is leading 1-0, or not. Let's see. Let's double. Connecticut is leading 1-0, I should say, which is strange because they only have 10 wins on the season. Yesterday, Kevin Harvick won the NASCAR Cup Series at Bristol. The AP rankings for this week are Clemson, then Alabama, who will be playing for the first time this week. So if I would have had my way, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, LSU, who are all in the top 10, along with Auburn, would not be in, along with Texas A&M. You would have almost half the top 10 not be in the top 25, along with Tennessee, who's 16th, Virginia Tech, who is still not played, and then they're in the ACC, which is strange. You also would not have Kentucky yet, but we're going to go through again real quick. 3 is Oklahoma, 4 is Georgia, 5 Florida, 6 LSU, who's receiving 1 first place vote. Alabama is still receiving 1 first place vote, even though they have not played at all this year. It's strange. Then 7th is Notre Dame. Tied for 8th is Auburn and Texas. 10th, Texas A&M. 11th, University of North Carolina. I almost said UConn. Miami is 12th, UCF, and then Cincinnati at 14. Oklahoma State 15th, Tennessee 16th, Memphis 17th, BYU at 18. Louisiana Lafayette, who did come back and won their game, is now 2-0, is at 19 still. Virginia Tech at 20. Pitt moved up 4 spots from 25 to 21st. Army is 22nd. Kentucky 23rd. Down 6 spots after losing is Louisville to 24th. And at 25, making their first time being ranked, I think since the 90s it was, or ever, I believe it was. I forget what it said, was Marshall. I was surprised by this, actually. Others receiving votes, Baylor at 89 votes, West Virginia at 59, SMU at 57. TCU and Virginia both got 30. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to do any others under 30. It says that App State dropped from the rankings from 23rd to non-ranked, and that's how Marshall got ranked. Appalachia State, let's see, they only received 3 votes this week. I will say that. In the coaches poll, they did have a lot more teams drop, but they have teams from like the Big Ten in theirs now, which is ridiculous, even though they haven't even played. You shouldn't have teams in your polls, honestly, if they haven't played yet. They had Louisville, Kentucky, App State, Baylor, and Army drop from theirs. So they added Minnesota to 22nd, Michigan to 19th, Wisconsin to 17th, Penn State to 13th. They have Ohio State all the way to 10th. I mean, they have a team that hasn't even played yet, that they just got told they were going to be able to play in 10th place, receiving 2 first place votes. 2 teams that haven't even played yet that are going to play this week, LSU and Alabama, are in the top 5 in the coaches poll, receiving first place votes. I mean, that's just ridiculous to me. Those teams shouldn't even be in polls. But I'm going to stop ranting so you can enjoy the rest of your day. This video has already gone on too long. I really didn't want to even go into the polls because the polls are just stupid. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go follow us on Instagram, subscribe, notification bell, comment, like, tell your friends to come watch the videos, and just have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you Friday when we are in Athens. Until then, we'll see you then.